Thanks for visiting today. Today in the garden, I'm going to talk about my hummingbird feeders. I have several hummingbird feeders. I think there's 3 in the backyard and 3 in the front yard that I have hanging all around, wishing and hoping that I'd see those hordes of hummingbirds that I see in a lot of people's videos on the internet and Facebook. But I can get 2, sometimes even 3 or 4, but never a whole lot. And I've set up my camera to take time lapse to try to film the little boogers as they come to and from. But again, I seldom get a lot, but that doesn't keep me from trying because it is so entertaining to watch those tiny little birds and how tiny and delicate they are. So stick with me and let's watch. Now, sometimes I feel like most of my time is spent back and forth, feeding and cleaning, refilling these feeders, but it's all worth it when you can get a capture of one of them. Just fleetingly, always on the wrong side of the camera, but if you can get a little glimpse of them, it's so worth it. This male, I think, it has the bright red ring. He took off, but it seemed like even the cicadas rejoiced. Listen to that. I was so happy. Now, this little type of hummingbird feeder that I found was very nice to use. This was one that it sticks with a suction cup onto the side of your window. So we put this in the window that's outside our family room, overlooking the deck. It's right opposite where the couch, chairs, everything is, and it was so nice. They visited it the most of any feeder that I've put out so far, and you could see them right up close. They weren't afraid of their reflection. None ever run into the windows, nothing like that. And you were right there within inches of the hummingbirds to see them. It worked out just perfectly. I loved it, and we could sit all day just watching them flit and fly back and forth. I still didn't have, the hundreds like other people do. This one has 2 little ports, one on each side, but it sure gave me a nice close-up view of the little hummingbirds, excuse me, as they flew outside the window. So I really enjoyed this one. I would only put in about a cup at a time, so you could clean the feeder once each day, keep it all fresh, but it was just perfect. I loved it. Now, I'll show you the difficulty. I did have to cut out some of the times I was laughing like crazy and had to just stop filming. But this is what happened. I have a window hummingbird feeder. It attaches to my window. In order to change it, I remove the screen, and then I've got to open my window and just reach out and get the feeder.
Crank it the other way. Okay, now crank it back. Go ahead.
We need to crank open the window, and then we're going to reach out and get a hummingbird feeder. You can see it's on a little suction cup, and I'm going to bring it in. Usually has a few dribbles, so I'm going to be careful, carry it over to the sink, and wash it and clean it. You can see real closely here where there's little speckles on it, and I guess there's little speckles on there, and I guess that's hummingbird poopy or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go clean this, and then we're going to rehang it. Okay, now we've got our hummingbird feeder cleaned, and then this is just 2 snap together pieces, and that little mechanism once you put them together, once we put that together, they fit right together like this. In the back, the little mechanism just slides into there and makes it tight. So what I'm going to do is take some of my nectar water that I've just prepared, and I'll fill it up, and then we're going to put it down, right down on the top, make sure we got it level, and then it just snaps. The two little prongs go through the hole to snap it. Now I am going to carry it over to the window without ending it. I'll turn it over when I'm ready to hang it. And there's the suction cup on the window. Let me open the window again. And then I think I see him out there buzzing around, looking for it to be back put in place. I have to be careful and not look down because I don't like the heights. That looks good. So he's all ready for his first hummer. And I think I better close the window before they come back in. Fly into the house. But we can see how our feeder is all ready for the next hummingbird to come along. They were flying out there outside that window, and we can stand right here and watch them. And I've got some films to show you where the birds are just sitting right there and we're inches from them. It's really, really cute. But I love these little suction window feeders. And I'll put a link down here in the description if you'd like to have one too, because they are so, so nice to sit and watch the hummers. Now we found out later, unfortunately, there's a big problem with these feeders when they're attached to the window. If you look closely at this film I made along that kind of light tan window trimming that we have, I could see ants up and down. I don't know how closely you can see that in this film, but I watched the film and that's when it was first come to my attention. So I went upstairs and grabbed my camera and I started filming. From this perspective, it looks like we have giant, I don't know, otters, rats crawling across the deck, but those are ants on the glass. They are climbing right up into the feeder. I don't know if they're coming all the way up the sides of the brick, up through the, I don't know, the structure of the house, but they were just lined going up and down and across and over. They were covering that brick windowsill outside. So this just wouldn't work. I had to reach out and get the feeder, get a bowl, and just run with it out the front and to a water hose and clean it all out. So if you know of a way, I usually use an ant moat for my others that are on a hanger. If you know a way of how to hang these on a window, because I loved it on the window. Even the hummers don't seem to mind it. All those little carcasses and corpses floating around didn't bother them at all. But, you know, I can't have that. I can't have the ants. So if you've got a solution, let me know, because I sure love these feeders. But thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate your visit today. Stay to watch another video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I do love it when you make a comment, and I try to answer every single comment I get. But thanks again for watching Kim's Gardens. And this is Kim. Thanks. Bye bye.